Jeremiah Barker was my new master's name, but as everyone called him Jerry, I shall do the same. Polly, his wife, was just as good a match as a man could have. She was a clean and happy little woman. Harry was 12 years old, a tall, straightforward, patient young boy. Little Dorothy, Dolly they called her, looked just like her mother at 8 years old. They were all very fond of each other. I never knew such a happy family before or since. Jerry had a cab of his own and 2 horses, which he drove and attended to himself. His other horse was a tall, white, rather large-boned animal called Captain. The next morning, when I was well groomed by Jerry, Polly and Dolly came into the yard to see me and make friends. Polly brought me a slice of apple, and Dolly a piece of bread. They paid so much attention to me, as if I had been the black beauty that I was in my youth. It was a great treat to be treated like a good pet again, and talked to in a gentle voice. I let them see as well as I could that I wished to be friendly. Polly thought I was very handsome, and a great deal too good for a cab, if it was not for the broken knees. "Of course there's no one to tell us whose fault that was," said Jerry, "and as long as I don't know, I shall give him the benefit of the doubt, for a better horse I never rode. We'll call him Jack, after the old one. Shall we, Polly?" "Do," she said, "for I like to keep a good name going." Harry came in after school to feed me and give me water. In the afternoon, I was put into the cab. Jerry was very careful to make sure that the collar and bridle fitted comfortably. When the rain was let out a hole or two, it all fitted well. Then, after driving through a side street, we came to the large cab stand. There was no bearing rein, but a plain ring bit. What luck that was! The first week of my life as a cab horse was very difficult. I had never been used to London. The noise, the hurry, the crowds of horses, carts and carriages that I had to make my way through made me feel anxious and upset. But I soon found that I could perfectly trust my driver, and then I relaxed and got used to it. Jerry was as good a driver as I had ever known, and he took as much thought for his horses as he did for himself. He soon found out that I was willing to work and do my best. He never laid the whip on me, unless by gently drawing the end of it over my back when I was to go on. But generally, I knew this quite well by the way in which he took up the reins. In the stable, too, he did all that he could for our comfort. Jerry kept us very clean and gave us as much change of food as he could, and always plenty of it. What's more, he always gave us plenty of clean, fresh water that he put next to us both night and day. And the best thing we had here was our Sunday rest. We worked so hard in the week that I do not think we could have kept up to it if not for that day. Besides, we then had time to enjoy each other's company. Time went by, and the election day came. We were so busy that there was no lack of work for Jerry and me. First came a fat, solid-looking gentleman who wanted to go to the Bishopsgate station. Then we were called by a party who wished to be taken to Regent's Park. And next we were wanted by a shy, anxious old lady. Just as we had set her down, a red-faced gentleman came running up out of breath. Before Jerry could get down, he had opened the door, got inside, and called out, "Bow Street Police Station, quick!" When we came back, Jerry put on my nose bag, and he said, "We must eat when we can on such days as these, so eat away, Jack, and make the best of your time, old boy." Jerry and I had not eaten much of our food before a poor young woman carrying a heavy child came along the street. She was looking this way and that way, and seemed quite confused. Presently she made her way up to Jerry, and asked if he could tell her the way to St. Thomas Hospital, and how far it was to get there. She said she had come from the country that morning. She did not know about the election, and was quite a stranger in London. She had got an order to take her little boy to the hospital. The child was crying, with a very weak cry. "Mum," said Jerry, "you can't get there walking through crowds like this. It is 3 miles away, and that child is heavy. You can't do it. You might be knocked down and the child be run over. Now look here, just get into this cab and I'll drive you safe to the hospital. Don't you see the rain is coming on?" "No, sir, no, I can't do that. I have only just money enough to get back with. Please, tell me the way." Jerry replied, "I've got a wife and dear children at home, and I know a father's feelings. Now get you into that cab, and I'll take you there for nothing. I'd be ashamed of myself to let a woman and a sick child run a risk like that." "Thank you," said the woman, and burst into tears. "Relax, my dear. I'll soon take you there. Come, let me put you inside." We were soon on our way to the hospital, going as fast as possible through side streets. Jerry rang the great bell and helped the young woman out. "Thank you 1,000 times," she said. "I could never have got here alone. You're kindly welcome, and I hope the dear child will soon be better." He watched her go in at the door and turned round. The rain was now coming down fast, and just as we were leaving, the hospital door opened again, and a hospital worker called out, "Cab!" We stopped, and a lady came down the steps. Jerry seemed to know her at once. She put back her veil and said, "Barker, Jeremiah Barker, is it you? I'm very glad to find you here. You're just the friend I want, for it is very difficult to get a cab in this part of London today." "I shall be proud to serve you, ma'am. Where may I take you to?" "To Paddington Station, and then if we are in good time, as I think we will be, you can tell me all about Polly and the children." I found Polly had worked for her. After many inquiries about Polly, she said, "Well, Barker, it would be a great pity if you were to seriously risk your health in this work, not only for your own good, but for Polly's and the children's good. There are many places where good drivers or good grooms are wanted. If ever you think you ought to give up this cab work, let me know. I'll help you." Then, sending some kind messages to Polly, she put something into his hand, saying, "There are 5 shillings each for the 2 children. Polly will know how to spend it." Jerry thanked her, and seemed very pleased, and left the station. At last we reached home.
Straightforward. Straightforward. Straightforward.
Slice. Slice. Slice.
Veil. Veil. Veil.
如果你喜欢我的视频，请帮我点赞、订阅加转发，你的支持就是我最大的动力。If you like this video, please help me to share this video. Thank you for your support.